Welcome back to the React Room. I'm your boy Don K. And today we're gonna be doing things a little different. Oh, and I wanted you guys to know, AJ told me to tell you guys to say a prayer for him. Unfortunately, his auntie just passed and he's going back to the States to go to the funeral, and he's gonna be home for a couple of weeks. So through the whole Amy and the Way family, we send our love to AJ. We appreciate everything he's done for us. We appreciate him being here. He's a big part of what we do here. He's half of it. And we want him back as soon as possible, but also we want to send our prayers out to his auntie and his family. So AJ told me to tell you guys he'll be back soon, and he doesn't like missing all of this stuff because he just started, but he wanted you guys to know that he's thinking about you and he's watching all of the videos, and when he gets back in a few weeks, he's gonna make sure he makes it up to you guys and go through all of the stuff he missed. So again, shout out to AJ, and you guys send us your prayers. Today we're gonna do something different. It's our job as content creators to give you guys the things you want to see. And I thought it was pretty plain to just eventually you're going to run out of music. People don't put out music every day. There's still a ton of music we need to get to. But we got to do things and go places that, create conversation, create content, create a dialogue. And a lot of the BTSArmy members on my channel and other channels, they make the argument that these guys are the greatest in the world. And I've made that argument in some cases too. Now, it's always going to be difficult to hear things you don't want to hear. And, I do think the BTSArmy gets a bad rep from a lot of people because it's more love than hate. But I want the Army to realize there is a small segment of people who claim to be Army, who come to comments and come to pages and they try to hijack the page, they try to force people into doing things. They talk negatively about other artists, and it creates controversy. That's good and bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just say that for what we want to do today, we want to explain both sides of the aisle. So today's episode is called K-pop skeptics versus pop skeptics. And it's basically a fancy way of saying the east side of the world versus the west side of the world, because you got two different opinions on who's the biggest group ever. One comparison that I always see is, I used to always see One Direction to Beatles. And now I see BTS to Beatles. BTS and One Direction are very similar in a lot of ways, but they're very different in every way. One has 5 members, one has 7 members, and they just go about their catalogs completely differently. Now I'll say this. I've been around fandoms since I was a kid, and I don't want to speak around Jackson 5 and Beatles and all of that stuff before I was really an adult to see, or even a grown teenager. I've never seen anything like One Direction. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never really heard their music, barely listened to it, but the amount of craziness and fandom that was behind that, I had never seen it in my life. It was just like, it was the classic, a bunch of crazy fans just doing the absolute most. And for BTS, now I see that, but I don't see the same type of craziness. I see craziness in support of the music and in support of the guys. It's different fandoms. I think One Direction fans are just like, I gotta take a picture with you by any means. Don't get me wrong. BTS fans would love to take pictures and scream, but I just feel like their fans are a little bit more like, we're going to support through concerts, we're going to support through music, we're going to organize charity events and group events, and it's just completely different how it goes, but I've never seen anything like BTS. And we're just going to go through a few of the differences of One Direction versus BTS. And just so you know, guys, it's nothing wrong with comparing groups. I hate when people come to the pages and they say, oh, well, how can you compare them to them? And how can you compare this? That's a part of music. It's a part of life. Everybody gets compared. Michael Jordan gets compared to LeBron James. Ronaldo gets compared to Messi. Taylor Swift gets compared to Beyonce. Drake and Kendrick Lamar gets compared. Like in every aspect, Trump gets compared to every president. Every prime minister gets compared to every past prime minister. Every government's compared to the next government. It's just a part of life. So some of you fans got to get off of yourselves and realize it's okay to do comparisons. It's okay to have a dialogue, and it's okay to have a disagreement. You might disagree with who I pick at the end of this between One Direction and BTS, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but let's create the dialogue and have a conversation and see who's really right. So before we get into One Direction versus BTS, I'll start by saying these are things that are important to people. This channel is all about music. That's it. Music and the love of music and entertainment. All the rest of that stuff is cool to look at. You see, when I was doing Blackpink and all of the other people, XG, I care about the Coach and all of that and the Louis Vuitton, but I really don't. I'm sorry. Tell it to someone who cares. I care about the music. You say you're the best in the world? Do you make the best music in the world? Do you connect with the most people? Can I listen to it? Will I enjoy it? Will multiple ethnicities enjoy it? Will multiple races enjoy it? Will multiple genres enjoy it? That's what I judge on touching the world. So things that matter but really don't in this particular argument, in my channel. Awards. Grammys, American Music Awards, K-pop, I don't care because all of that can be bought. All of that is bought. And that's the reason why One Direction and BTS doesn't have more Grammy. Both of them should have 10, 12 Grammy Awards, but they both have 0 because the powers that be don't make the money that they would like to make off of either one of the groups. So they're going to go blackball them from that type of stuff. The sales are the sales, but you won't win no Grammys. And that's just how it goes. So I don't care about awards. I don't care about none of that. Fashion is a part of sports. It's a part of music industry. It's a part of everything. Everybody has unique styles. BTS, they change their styles every other week. I don't know. They all switch their hairstyles, the colors. One Direction, one time, I never really listened to their music. I just saw pictures. And then I saw Harry in the group one time. And then I saw Harry was dressing like kind of crazy. And I don't know. I'm not into fashion. That's a part of it. It's a part of the theatrics, but I don't care. Michael Jackson and Prince was known for their outfits. I don't care. Music. We're talking about who's the best group, not who puts on the best show. Who's the best group musically? Brand deals. I don't care because if you work with Nike, then you can never work with Reebok or Adidas. If you work with Hot 97, then 105 won't want to work with you. It's just all BS when it comes to brand deals. If you're with Nike, you're going to be seen more than if you were Reebok. If you're with, again, brand deals like Louis Vuitton. If I'm One Direction and I sign a deal with Louis Vuitton, of course I'll get seen more than a group who's just as good. But if they do a deal with Coach, Louis Vuitton is more popular than Coach. I don't care about the brand deals. And I'm gonna be honest, most brand deals happen for everybody who's famous, but a lot of these brand deals mostly come for girl groups. That's why you see girl groups who not super talented, or women that ain't super talented, but if they look good and they gotta look, they'll get hella brand deals, and people will put bad music out there just because of the brand deals they'll get. Like a lot of the rappers right now in the States, women, like they're not that talented, but they can get brand deals. So labels will sign them, let them put out trash music, and then sign them for the deals because they're in the 360. So I don't care about brand deals, or it has nothing to do with music to me. Net worth. How much money you make in the industry versus not being in the industry is not important to me. Music. Do you make the best music? I don't care about how much money you make. You could have made a bunch of terrible music and they paid you for it. You could have had a bunch of terrible concerts and they paid you for it. Do you make the best music? Net worth and how much money you made. If you did good, you'd be good. All of these people are rich. So I don't really care. Oh, they're worth 100 million. He's worth 60 million. It's BS and it doesn't matter. Relationships. I've seen so many people judge things based on relationships. Like, who did you marry? Did you marry a Beyonce? Did you marry a Rihanna? Did you marry a BTS? I don't care about all of that. Like, that's just another way for brand deal. That's another way of branding. Oh, I'm going to be seen with this person and I'm going to be doing this. You know how many fake relationships we've seen in the States from all artists? Oh, yeah, we're so in love, but it's just crap. So these are things that we don't really care about. But to some people, they may be important, but not on this channel. So, you know. Okay. Social media. YouTube subscribers, YouTube views, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok. This is some live stuff we're going to do right now. Okay. So we'll just do a quick Google search. Now we'll go to YouTube. We'll go to YouTube and see who has the most. One Direction. They got 39.4 million subscribers. BTS posts their music on I think Bangtan or something like that. BTS, let's see. Oh, they posted on their label page, Hype Labels. So again, we'll use the page that posts the music because that's the fair thing. That's the fair thing to do to make it even. Okay. Let's see. Videos, popular. Okay. See, their videos at 1.5. But I guess for this argument, you can't do that. Hold on. Bong time. Let's see. They got 80 million subscribers on their page. 80 million subscribers on their official page. So again, I get it. One Direction hasn't been around since 2016, but bro, all I can go by is the dates right now. So again, I want everybody, we're just going to go through it. This is not biased. This is just who's bigger. 39.4 million subscribers versus 79.8 million. So you basically 80 million subscribers versus 40 million, if you want to round it, if it will round down to 39. But let's just say 80 versus 40. So BTS got double the YouTube subscribers as them. Let's go to YouTube views. Now let's go to this page. Let's see. But see on this, you have to, this is the only fact, because their is weird. Their music videos are posted to their label page, but you can't take the total amount of views. So this is what we'll do. We'll look at this page. Let me see. On their personal YouTube channel, 79.8 million subscribers. They've gotten, since 2012, 24,405,274 views. I'm going to say that number again. 24,405,274,078 views. 24,405,274,078 views. Wow. Okay, and that's with no music videos, because all of their music videos are posted to the label, Hype Labels page. Okay. Let's see what there is on their personal page. 15,238,391,678. So BTS has double the music subscribers as them, and they have almost 10 billion more views. Okay. Facebook. So let's see. Google. Let's see. One Direction Facebook page. They got 36.3 million followers, and they got, yeah, 36, I think there's 36.3 million followers. Okay, let's see how many BTS has on Facebook. BTS fans on Facebook. So 21.8 million followers versus, what did One Direction have? 36.3. So I think Facebook goes to One Direction. Okay, Instagram. Instagram followers, One Direction. 24.2 million followers. Now let's see what BTS has. 75.6 million. So again, BTS official page, 75.6 million followers versus 36 million. It's crazy. No, 24 million. 24 million versus 75 million. So BTS has the most Instagram followers. Let's see Twitter and X. BTS 48.6 million followers on X, aka Twitter. Now let's see One Direction. Twitter followers. I'll fix this. 29.6 million. Again. So 29.6 million versus 48.6. That goes to BTS also. TikTok. BTS has an official account, but they don't have, I guess they don't have an official account for One Direction. But that's not good. If they got 71.2 million followers, but again, I guess they haven't been active since 26. But this is big, people. This is 71 million people. But okay. So clearly, in 90% of the categories in social media, BTS has the bigger fan base. So I guess they win that round. Okay. Spotify listeners, total album sale, RA certifications. Basically, if you sell 1 million records, you go platinum. 500,000, you go gold. 10 million records, you go diamond. That's basically the certifications that I grew up on. Monthly Spotify listeners, of course, that's important. But I'm going to tell you why that's tricky. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Total album sales, all of that can be tricky. Okay, but these are important things, music sales. I'm going to tell you why. Spotify listeners. Let's see who has the most Spotify listeners. Okay, One Direction. Let's see, I'm going to go to that official page. Okay, 43,694,966 monthly users. Okay, cool. Okay, that sounds right. Okay. Now let me go back and let me go to BTS. So 43 million. $26 million. Okay. So I was right. 26 million and 40. Okay. So in this category, One Direction is stomping them in Spotify listens. But again, I'll wait to the end to talk about that because a lot of these numbers can be tricky, even in BTS's favor, and I'll explain in a minute. But Spotify can be very tricky when it comes to playing with numbers because you clearly see, think about this. And I'm not taking up for BTS because I'm not on neither side, but I want you to think about this. If their social media following is thumping One Direction in every numbers, why is Spotify one of the 3 most important places? I think the 3 most important places for music are Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So how can they be thumping them in what thumping is a favorite? How can they be killing them in the numbers in everything but Spotify? Okay, we'll go. But again, that's just what it is. So that round goes to One Direction. Total albums sold. Let's see. Let's go to Google. How many albums has BTS sold? Okay. We'll go with 44 million. So 44 million albums they've sold. Okay, let's see One Direction albums sold. 70 million records worldwide. Hey. And I get it, they rap, a lot of this is in English. So you gotta remember this. Most popular, but again, that's part of being global. Part of being global is because BTS sings a lot of that stuff in English too, but this is strictly English, so it's more relatable. So, okay, 70 million records worldwide, okay, versus 40, 45. Okay, yes, that goes to One Direction too. So it just all depends. In RA certifications, that's more like something for the States. That's what we hold. How many albums went platinum? How many albums went gold? But they're like, we can clearly see that both of them sell a significant amount of records. So that gives us to the most important thing, for me at least. music. Whose music is better? That's what it comes down to. All of the fandom and cute girl, boy, and all of the people who I'm inspired by this person, who makes the best music? Everybody's gonna have a difference of opinion. And it's hard to go bar for bar or catalog for catalog. For this simple argument, we'll just go, okay, we'll look at their two biggest songs, Dynamite and Boy With Love versus What Makes You Beautiful and Drag Me Down. Both of these, all of these received over 1.5 billion views. I think Dynamite has the most, then Boy With Love, then What Makes You Beautiful and Drag Me Down. So these are all billion viewed songs on YouTube. So just for the sake of this, we'll go through one by one and we won't be swayed. We'll just listen to one and one. So we'll start off with One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful. Then we'll go to Dynamite. Then we'll go to Drag Me Down. Then we'll go to Boy With Love. We'll just listen quickly, quick thoughts, and then we'll be up out of here. And for these videos, we're only gonna listen to audios. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is about who makes the best music. Of course, showmanship is a part of that. But again, I'm a music guy. So I've already did Dynamite the video. You guys know what I think about that. I'll do all audios for all of these. Just the audios, just so we can hear the music, and then we'll judge what we like to hear more. So this is BTS Dynamite official audio. This is the audio.
Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, get the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and I'll get my ping pong. This is great, heavy, can't hit the baseball, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beach treated like money. This go overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow. Hey, so let's go. Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with a little funky song. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, bring a friend, join the crowd, whoever wanna come along.
That was beautiful. We all know what I think of that song, so there's no point in doing it. I just want to keep you guys fresh so we can hear that and go into another song so we can actually compare. One Direction. And again, we know these songs came out at 2 different times. We know these songs came out in different years, in different modes, and what was hot at the moment. But music is timeless, and it doesn't matter when it comes out. We're going to be on it, and we can know what's better than what better. One Direction, what makes you beautiful. Let me say this quickly. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know a ton about One Direction, because I don't. I just know how big they were based on me being around since 2010. When I graduated college, I saw that decade of that's 6 years of just woo like that. So again, I don't know everything about them, but what I can tell you is I've never really heard this song. I was arguing with people, they'd be like, bro, you've definitely heard, wait till you've heard these songs. I don't remember songs if I don't listen to them daily. Like if I heard it just walking by, I don't remember. So I can honestly say I've never heard any of these songs, and they're billion songs. So One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful, audio.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up. Being the way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. So come on, you got it wrong. To prove I'm right, I put it in a song. I don't know why you're being shy and turn away when I look into your eyes. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful.
Oh, my first time hearing that song. It's not bad. It's a cool song. And you got to put into context when it came out and what was the vibe when it came out. If these guys came out around 2010, these songs was between 10 and 2012. This was definitely a sound that was out around then, especially for male singers, especially, I know this was like a lot of bar music at this time. Like these songs, it's a good concept, what makes you beautiful, but they would play this stuff in bars. They'll play this stuff in like little, clothing stores. I would hear it time to time. I don't really remember this song, but it's a good song. But if I was giving it round for round, and it's not fair because their biggest song came out within the last 2-3 years, so it's like I would have to go Dynamite, because Dynamite is something I would listen to. And again, this is not me just being a BTS fan or me being a One Direction fan. This song is only good for a certain demographic of people. If I want, like, anybody can listen to it, but I feel like this song is gonna cater to more of like strictly the pop world, mostly white audiences, mostly UK audiences, a few international here and there. But that BTS actually, to me, their song actually, it can reach a broader amount of people. Even though it's still pop in its essence, I feel like more people of color and more international people, they would feel the Dynamite song a little bit more. And that's just my opinion. That's just what I think. So let's move on to the next song. Boy With Love and Drag Me Down. So we'll go Boy With Love audio. Just even the beats.
모든 게 궁금해질 때 tell me 뭐가 널 행복하게 하는지 text me Your every picture 내 머리만 듣고 싶어 감기 막히죠 모든 걸 다 가르쳐줘 마치고 싶어 Yeah, you make you me your boy with love Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my Need it all my life 전부 함께 하고 싶어 Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my Give me something right 이제 조금은 나 알겠어 I want something stronger Need a moment, love 내 삶은 on top 너야 상관계 섭섭하지 않게 만들어버린 너라는 배 하나부터 열까지 모든 게 특별하지 너의 관심사 걸음걸이만 좋아 사소한 작은 습관들같이 난 말했지 너무 작다 내가 영웅이 된 거라고 난 말했지 운명 따윈 전부터 내게 아니었다고 세계의 평화 연애 앉아서 그저 널 지켜봐 마치고 싶어 Yeah, you make it me your boy with love Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my 네 hurry so fast 내 전부 함께 하고 싶어 Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my Let me fly so fast 이제 조금은 나 알겠어 Love is nothing stronger 내가 보이고 있어 내 boy with love 말하길 나도 모르게 힘이 들어가기도 했어 높아버린 sky 커져버린 헛 때론 도망치게 해달라며 기도했어 But 너의 상처는 나의 상처 깨달았을 때 나 다짐했던 건 네가 준게 그 후세 나에게로 태양이 아닌 너에게로 Let me fly Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my Fade it all my life 전부 함께 하고 싶어 Oh my, my, my Oh my, my, my Give me something
You see, and that's why it's hard for people, especially like to judge stuff, because when you comparing, people act like because you like something more than other things, it's a diss. And I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying if I like either one of them more. I'm just telling you, based on like, okay, listening to this song. This is probably my third time hearing this song, third or fourth time. Like, if you have the ability to make people that don't look like you, not the same race, don't even speak the same language, and they can jam to your music, they can love it, they can dance to it, they can sing to it, they love hearing. That's the difference to me. Like, I personally have never seen, and again, I'm not saying they don't exist, but in America, I don't see a large demographic of people. Like I said, for One Direction, it was kind of like, it was a huge, I'm telling you, don't let me discount it. It was next to the Beatles, it was the biggest thing I've ever seen, but it was one demographic of people that were going to that, mostly, like I said, like white people. Like, I'm not saying that's what that, but again, UK and the white people in America, that's mostly where they get it's a few, but it's not like foreign. Like with BTS, I see a lot of foreigners, a lot of older people. This is just a big mixture, but I enjoy that song a lot. So the last song, went to One Direction, and it's Drag Me Down. And that ends it. So let's be very objective and quick in this. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you say who's the biggest group and who's the best group, you can never get a true answer. There's nothing you can do to get a true answer because there are always going to be people that feel like this, people who feel like that. The numbers are going to say this and numbers are going to say that. But from my investigations and everything I've researched and everything I've heard and looked at over time, the only simple answer I can give you to who's bigger is, I can say this. Up into 2016, One Direction was bigger. Up until that point, because of the deals they made. And again, I'm telling you, like, they didn't win Grammys or a bunch of stuff either, but they were more accepted because they could speak English. And I can't hold that against them because, again, BTS does music in English, but they also do it in Korean, but I think only RM can speak it fluently. That's kind of their fault, because if you want to be the biggest in the world, either you got to make everybody learn Korean or you got to go to the language that's most common full time. So I think up until 2016, One Direction was bigger just because of the amount of fan base and people that was willing to play their music and the deals. They didn't have to go through what BTS did as far as bringing up your label and all of the other stuff. But now I think BTS is the biggest group in the world. I don't really care that you haven't posted since 2016. They said, who's the biggest group in the world right now? Right now, today, BTS has more of a social media following. Their music, their two songs, I think their biggest song is 1.5. They got like 2 or 3 songs at that. They got more 1 billion songs than them. Their music, to me, is a little bit better, but that doesn't mean that they were bigger back then. So I think the correct answer is One Direction was bigger up into 2016, but now it's by far BTS and it's not even close. I think One Direction has a strong fan base. I think they have a massive fan base, and I think they'll come back for the reunion or whenever they do. But this is typically what I was trying to explain in my other videos. This is how boy bands always do. You clearly see it's 4 of them, 5 of them, and then it'll disappear. And then you'll just see Harry. You'll see the rest of them dating pop girls, but they won't be big. It'll be one, NSYNC. It'll be Justin Timberlake. 98 Degrees, I think it was Nick or something. It'll be him. It's always gonna be that one person who everyone likes a little bit more, and then they're gonna go solo and forget about I'm not gonna say forget, but then they'll just, again, Harry has more monthly listeners on Spotify than the whole group of One Direction. So that shows you that people only gonna, in these type of parts of the world, they're gonna support the group, but they're gonna pick one person. Whereas BTS, because solos have nothing to do with this. This is just what I know. But in BTS case, they all have great solo careers and people all stand them the same as if they're the group. But we're only talking about the group. So in a group form, my end answer would be One Direction up into 2016. Currently today, BTS is the #1 group in the world. They're the closest thing to the Beatles. They sell out every country. They sell out every arena. Their music correlates to not only us as listeners of music, but to all genres of the world. 60 years old, 70-year-olds, 50 years old, 40-year-old, black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I've seen countless stories and chats of how BTS music has changed their life. And not saying that One Direction hasn't done that, because I haven't deep dived into the music enough to know what people really, really think in the hardcore fan base. But I'm just telling you, based on numbers, based on visual activity, based on all of the things that I said that were important, I would give the slight edge to BTS. But you got to remember before I go, these guys haven't been active since 2016. So if they were active since 2016 for these next 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, let me see, 2016, 7 years. 7 years now, it might be more. They might be bigger than BTS, but I don't speak into the mics. I'm speaking to today. What's going on today? I'm going to roll with the slight edge to BTS as the best group since the Beatles, the most famous group since the Beatles. So that's my reaction. I'll let you guys hear the music. I'll let you hear my opinions. I'll let you hear facts that were stated, social engagement. I don't get into the semantics about who you're dating and what clothes you wear. I only care about the music, how it sounds, and how it touches people. And that's my opinion for today. So this was the K-pop skeptics versus the pop star haters. And that's what we got. So you guys tell me in the comments, is One Direction bigger than BTS? Did I totally miss the ball? Is BTS overrated? Is One Direction overrated? You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear. I want to genuinely hear what you guys have to say. who's bigger, who's better in the most respectful way possible. We don't have to like each other, but we can be civil. We don't have to agree with each other, but we can be civil. So let's have a civil conversation in the comments. Who's the bigger group? Who's the better group? Who makes the best music? And what do you guys think? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And remember, pray for AJ and his family. We wish him well at this time. RIP to his auntie, and we'll see you soon. And from everybody from the Amy and the Wade family, with love. Peace.